Ladies and gentlemen, if you thought week 1 in the NFL was a wild ride, my friends, you ain't seen nothing yet, because week 2 was full of epic comebacks, epic collapses, and some shocking turn of events, including Miami shocking Baltimore. The Colts get shut out by Jacksonville. The Raiders blow it in overtime against Arizona at one point, leading 20-0. And in the final stages of the fourth quarter, the Jets beat the Browns 31-30. Strap on. Enjoy the wild ride from week 2. It's showtime. From the gridiron to the court, talking all that is sport. Representing a busted up a nation, bring to you our Nation Sports Show. Here are your hosts, Ezra Vickery, Joey Thornton, Kevin Rory, Randy Giron, and Stephen Wyand.
Oh, yeah. What's going on, everybody? It is that time once again because we are live coast to coast and around the world here on the World Wide Web on YouTube.com. I am your host for this evening, Stephen Wyand. What is going on, folks? Welcome to another action-packed edition of our Nation Sports Show. And before we get to these fine folks on with me tonight, we got to pay the bills, folks. Not really, though, but who cares? Anyways, got to plug the social media platforms, folks. First up on Twitter at twitter.com at Owen_sports show, facebook.com/Nation Sports Show, and of course on good old YouTube, youtube.com/Our Nation Sports Show. And Joey will be joining us here shortly. And Ezra's not here tonight. He has some family obligations that he had to attend to, and we are looking forward to having him on the show next week. But joining me tonight here to recap all of the insanity from week 2 in the National Football League up first. And he's going to be first because this is one of the games we're going to be talking about at the top of the hour, and that is our fellow Las Vegas Raiders fan fanatic, a metalhead, my brother from another mother. His favorite band, I think, might be Nickelback, but we'll get to that later on. But anyways, he's my brother from another mother, metalhead enthusiast, loves all things rock and metal and then some, and he's a Raiders fan. What's up, Randy? Randy Giron, folks.
Hey, what's going on tonight? Just here chilling. Who told you about Nickelback? That was supposed to be a secret.
Hey. Y'all like to bust my balls on the Panthers being my favorite team, so-called?
I know that.
Hey, that's a bitch.
There's no busting. There's no butt busting. You. That's your team. It's all good.
Sir.
It's all good. It's all good, man. But it's good to be here, and we don't have to talk about that Raiders game. It's over. It's all good.
We can talk. Come on, Randy. Come on, bro. Come on.
We can go on. We can talk about your Panthers losing, but the Raiders game that's over. It's another week.
Yeah. Whatever. This is our show, anyways.
All right. Well, all right. Let me give you my prediction for this week.
Anyways, good to have you on the show as always, bro.
Yes,
and also joining us last certainly but not least, and oh boy, I know this man is fired up. That's right. He's a San Francisco 49ers fan, diehard as well, as I must say, and he's also a fan of professional wrestling and NBA, whatever the hell he likes to get into. Maybe a little Eminem, a little Dr. Dre, a little Snoop, the D-O-double-G. all that good stuff that is rap and all that good stuff. Anyways, joining us here tonight is my boy, K-Rod, Kevin Roy. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, fellas?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm riled up. I'm ready to blow off some steam after some bullshit with my boys. Even though we got the win, we'll talk about it later, and I'll rant about it later. But anyway, let's do this, fellas.
Man, I'm so excited to be on here with you guys. And like I said, as we were going live, Joey will be joining us here very shortly to talk about the wild week 2 in the NFL. And man, we're just going to run down these scores real quick. And I know Thursday Night Football was really crazy because that game was wild. I mean, divisional rivals, the Chargers and the Chiefs went at it at Arrowhead, and Kansas City ended up pulling off that victory 27-24. And man, just a crazy wild game. I mean, that pick 6 on Herbert really changed that game. And KC gets to 2-0, and the Chargers are going to 1-1. And then, I mean, my God, on the Sunday portion of the schedule, I mean, if you thought week 1 last week was nuts, well, week 2 said, hold my beer, because I'm telling you, just the way week 2's insanity levels just went through the roof. I mean, my God, I mean, where do we even start? I mean, Miami coming back against the Baltimore Ravens at M&T Bank Stadium, down 35-14 in the fourth quarter. And Tua threw all of those touchdowns, more importantly, threw 4 of his 6 TDs in the fourth quarter to give the Dolphins a stunning victory against the Ravens, 42-38. Ended up pulling off that win. Lamar Jackson, the first quarterback to throw a 75-yard touchdown and to run a 75-yard touchdown in the same game. Even though it was a losing effort, Lamar had a hell of a game. And speaking of a hell of a game, as far as go ahead. Anyway, okay. And also running down the week 2 Sunday schedule. I mean, the Browns are the Browns. Let's be honest, folks. I mean, the New York Jets come back from the dead in the fourth quarter against the Cleveland Browns, and the Browns were up 30-17. So yeah, 30-17. And Joe Flacco and the Jets made a stunning come-from-behind victory, all because Nick Chubb had to run a touchdown in. He could have dove from the 1-yard line, and the clock would have ran out because, shocker, the Jets had no timeouts. The first down, you got the first down, and the game is over. But no, the Browns had to score a touchdown. Well, Chubb had to score a touchdown, and then they missed the extra point. And then Flacco and them come down the field, scored the touchdown on a 66-yard touchdown bomb to Corey Davis. And then the Jets get the onside kick. And we're all going, what in the hell is going on here? Because if you thought the Dolphins and the Ravens game on Sunday was nuts, the Browns and Jets game was even more crazy, people probably would argue. And the Jets somehow come back and beat Cleveland in a stunning 31-30 come from behind fourth quarter comeback. 2 touchdowns in 90 seconds. That is absolutely bonkers. And speaking of bonkers, folks, we're going into Sin City. That's right. And to give a brief synopsis on this game, because the Las Vegas Raiders absolutely single-handedly had one of the single biggest choke jobs in the NFL this year, and it's not even over, folks. Up 20-0 against the Arizona Cardinals. Kyler Murray can't get nothing going. The defense can't get nothing going. The Raiders in the fourth quarter were up 23-7. 23-7. And Arizona comes back again, like the Jets did against Cleveland, from the dead, and absolutely stunningly ties the game. The Raiders.
Randy, where'd you go, Randy? I can't find you. It's kind of hard to find you, like it is finding Kyler Murray.
The littlest man on the football field. There he is. Hello, good sir. Anyways, so during this insanity of a game, the Raiders had every opportunity to stop Murray and the offense of Arizona. And every time the Cardinals came chipping away, and they got down to the goal line Murray had three passes that went nowhere. And on 4th and goal from the 3-yard line, Murray ran it in with no time on the clock. And that obviously becomes the most important part, the 2-point conversion. Down 23-15, scores a touchdown with no time remaining on the clock. And the Cardinals got the job done, tied the game at 23, and sent the game into overtime. And then the Vegas Raiders absolutely blew everything out of them in this overtime session because they gambled and lost it all. And by lost it all, I mean Derek Carr and the Raiders fumbled the ball. And then the Cardinals ran it in, called it a day, 29-23. And the Raiders are 0-2. When many thought they were going to have a good start, so far, not off to a good start. And speaking not off to a good start, and this has happened from time to time with Super Bowl teams that usually lose the Super Bowl. Sometimes it happens when teams win the Super Bowl. But the Cincinnati Bengals are experiencing what we like to call a Super Bowl hangover. Because in week 2 against the Dallas Cowboys, Joe Burrow continues to get sacked and planted on his back by all the defenses that he has faced so far, the Steelers and Dallas. In the first 2 weeks, he has been sacked 13 times. 13 times. That offensive line has got to start protecting him better. They need to start now because they are in a world of hurt. And Cooper Rush came in like a working man. And I guess that's what we're calling him, a working man. And what was he doing? He was leading the Cowboys to a victory against the Bengals, 20-17 on a game-winning field goal. And obviously going down the schedule, the Carolina Panthers, they lose yet again to the New York Football Giants, 19-16. And I'm happy about that. Sorry about that, Mr. Big T. He's a Panthers fan, for those that don't know. Sorry, bro. Anyways, your team is not looking so good. And speaking of looking good, or well, in this case, not looking good, how about our favorite team that gets shut out yet again by the Jacksonville Jaguars? That's right. The Indianapolis Colts absolutely laid an egg. Zilch, nada, nothing on the scoreboard against Jacksonville in the pouring rain to start out. And it was raining definitely on the Colts' heads. The reign of terror on Indianapolis. Matt Ryan was terrible in this game. 3 interceptions thrown against Jacksonville. And I heard a stat on the radio the other day that blew my mind, guys. And Kevin, you and I were talking about this before we went live. In Jacksonville's last 48 games, they are 6-42. In 4 of those 6 wins, those wins are against, you guessed it, the Colts.
Wow.
3 of them.
Colts. 3 of them.
3 of them were shutouts.
Mm-hmm. 3 of those victories by Jacksonville, shutouts. Going down the line for week number 2, San Francisco took on the Seattle Seahawks. And man,
Chickens.
Sorry, my bad.
Chickens.
The Sea Chickens. San Francisco ended up pulling out this victory 27-7. And in Kevin's eyes, and in my opinion, it should have been a shutout. Just saying. So moving down the schedule as well, from a lot of these games, the Pittsburgh Steelers took on the New England Patriots. And this Steelers team is so hard to figure out, y'all, because last week they beat Cincinnati. And this week, they lose to New England 17-14. Mac Jones threw a touchdown pass. Yeah, whoop-de-doo. The defense played pretty well. Pittsburgh's defense, however, did not. Also moving down the schedule, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they beat the New Orleans Saints. I believe that score, off the top of my head, I believe it was
20-10, Steven.
20-10. Thank you. 20-10. I was thinking 20 to something, but I couldn't remember it.
It was 20-3 if they didn't score a garbage time touchdown.
Yeah.
They also had a Royal Rumble at the end of the game, too, for everybody who didn't see that one.
Let's get ready to get thrown out. Yep. So Mike Evans and Lattimore got into a fight. And guess who started that fight, folks? Randy's
favorite guy, Tom Brady.
Baby. Tom Brady. Now, here's a guy that loves to start fights, Al.
There goes Randy. Randy's hero, Tom Brady, started that fight.
Watch him as he goes. But Tom Brady in the Buccaneers snap that losing streak against the Saints. Who dat failures?
Jameis Winston looking like he's a blind man yet again, throwing the ball all over the place.
Yeah, when a blind man cries. Anyways, speaking of almost crying, the Rams almost cried themselves to bed because they almost shit the bed with that game against the Falcons. They're leading 31-10, and Atlanta pulled the most unsinkable things of all times. They made a comeback. They made it into the game. It was what, 28-7?
No, it was 28-3. The Falcons almost came back from 28-3.
Wow.
And they don't like that number. Let's just say that.
It was 28-3. Coincidentally, happened to them against the Patriots in the Super Bowl in 2017. Wow. So Atlanta was down 28-3, the same score that has doomed and gloomed them since 2017 against the Patriots in that Super Bowl. And they made it back into the game. Down 31-25, and Marcus Mariota did the one thing that he didn't need to do, throw the ball away, and as far as the interception goes. Threw a pick, and the game was over. Man, the Rams, they got lucky on that one. Man. And also moving down the line, as far as the week 2 schedule, we had the Denver Broncos taking on oh, good dear God.
The ugly football game.
Ugly. Or as they say in the Lion King, ugly. Because that game was terrible. Dude.
Guys, you remember when we picked that Panthers-Giants game and it was all like 13-9 or 16-13? This was the Broncos and Texans were crying out.
Oh, dear God. Could this game please have ended in a tie? But it didn't. Russell Wilson ended up throwing a touchdown pass that sealed the game against the Texans 16-9. Moving on from that shit show of a game, moving down the line. So you absolutely had one of the single greatest games in sarcasm. You had Sunday Night Football. No, scratch that one. The Detroit Lions get a victory in week number 2.
Yes, sir.
Against the Washington Commanders. 22-0. They were leading in this game. And I told my dad on the way back from Ocean City, I said, Dad, here comes the part where the Lions are going to have to earn it. They're going to have to earn this victory.
Hey, Steven, I don't mean to cut you off right there, but last year, and this is what I said in the pre-show or preseason when we were doing our reviews or previews, but last year's Lions team would have choked that and found a way to blow it. This year's Lions team is catching the good luck this year. They ain't got that bad luck they had last year. This Lions team is actually catching the good luck of football, of the football gods so far.
Yes, they are. So far, so good for Detroit. 37-26 with the final in that one. They get to 1-1. And you know what? We kid about Detroit at times, but man, I'm so happy for Dan Campbell. Like, he is a likable dude. I like what he does. Jared Goff had a pretty good solid game against Washington in that game. And he had a pretty solid performance. And what wasn't a solid performance was the Chicago Bears against the Green Bay Packers on Sunday Night Football. Green Bay was down 7-3 in this game. And we're going, man, there's no way. There's just no way that Chicago is going to beat Green Bay. There's just no way. And Green Bay rattles off 21 consecutive points to take a commanding lead. A commanding lead, 24-7 at half. And they never looked back. Ended up winning 27-10 against Chicago. Monday Night Football. You had the Buffalo Bills and the Tennessee Titans. That was the first game of the night. And the Buffalo Bills absolutely, positively laid the smack it down on that candy ass they call Tennessee. 41-7. Josh Allen had a hell of a game. Man, and speaking of hell of a game, Stephon Diggs, man, he played a great game. 12 catches for 160, 70 yards, something like that. Had a great game. Great game. And 2 or 3 touchdowns that he caught. Just, man, that Buffalo defense, man, they are swarming. They are so good. So good is that Buffalo defense. And I wanted to move back real quick before we get you guys' thoughts on some of the games that you thought were that kind of caught your attention. But that game between Miami and Baltimore, it's insane how Tyreek Hill and I'm drawing a blank here. Who was the other receiver?
Waddle.
Thank you.
Jalen Waddle.
Yeah, Jalen Waddle, man. Both guys caught 11 receptions in this game against the Ravens defense. I mean, just incredible, man. I mean, week 2 was so crazy. Real quick before we move on, did I miss any scores? Did I hit all the scores?
I'll read them down the list for you, Steven.
Okay.
Chargers, Chiefs beat the Chargers 27-24.
Yep.
Pats beat the Steelers 17-14.
Yep.
The Panthers lose to the G-Man in an ugly slugfest, 19-16.
Yep.
Jets win 31-30 over the Browns.
Yep.
Jags shut out the Colts 24-0. The score of the Dolphins and Ravens ended up being 42-38. After it being 20, it was 28-7 at one point.
And then Baltimore was up 35-14.
Yes. Bucks win 2010. Commanders lost. It was 36-27 for that. 49ers beat the Sea Chickens 27-7. Falcons lose 31-27.
That's right. I had the numbers backwards. Yep.
The Cardinals and the Raiders won off a fumble recovery bullshit touchdown 29-23.
Yep.
Broncos beat the Texans 16-9. Bengals lose to Dallas by 3, 2017. Packers beat the Bears 2017.
Okay. I hit all the
Buffalo
scores.
just
Perfect.
shits on Tennessee 41-7, and the Eagles and the Vikings 24-7.
And then I'll quickly move on to that one as well. Philadelphia beat Minnesota in a absolute ugly of a game for the Vikings. And we keep on saying every time that we want to ride the Vikings bandwagon, Kirk Cousins and that offense could not get nothing going, especially the offensive line from Minnesota. They absolutely shit the bed against this Eagles defense. That Eagles defense is really good, guys. And, I mean, they got some studs on that defensive side of the ball. And Jalen Hurts, man, holy smokes, he played a well of a game last night. I mean, he was spectacular. He had 4 or 5 incompletions in that game. That's unheard of. Over 330 yards passing, a couple of touchdowns, no picks. Had a great game. Great game.
Read an interesting stat for you real quick, Steven, about Jalen Hurts, since you mentioned it. Mm-hmm. Jalen Hurts is the first quarterback in NFL history to have a 300-yard game, 50-plus rushing yards, and an 80-plus percentage or completion percentage.
Wow.
Which is pretty impressive.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, and A.J. Brown last night against Minnesota was spectacular too. I mean, he is a weapon, and Smith is a weapon. Those 2 young receivers for Hurts, man. We said it during the preseason, as far as picking our divisional winners, and a lot of us picked Philadelphia, rightly so, because of the weapons on offense, the offensive line. And Kurt Warner said it last night during the Westwood One broadcast on NFL radio, when it was broadcasted on NFL radio, when he said that the Philadelphia Eagles offensive line might be the best offensive line in football right now. And he's got a good point, because they run the ball. They can beat you with the running game, and they can also beat you with the passing game. They're not just a one-dimensional football team. And they might be one of the best teams in the NFC conference right now. And now that we went down all these scores from this past wild week in week 2, I'll start out with you, Randy. What were some of your biggest takeaways for week 2 as far as games that stood out to you in your mind?
That Ravens.
Real quick. Sorry, ladies. It's not Justin Timberlake. It's our boy. His Commanders lost it to the Detroit Lions 36-27. What's up, JT? What's up, Joey? I'm so sorry.
You pissed them off. Steven, why would you talk about
your intro and that was it?
Good job, Steven.
Maybe don't lead with his team losing next time.
You made him pull a Ben Simmons. Congratulations. He left.
Yeah, he left before the show even gets started with him on it. Oh, there he is. Take Ben 2. Is back. What's up, Joey?
Hey, what's up? Sorry,
Hey,
had a little connection issue there. But what's up? What's up?
hey, what's
Okay.
up, man?
Okay. Well, I want to apologize to you, sir, because I was talking shit about your football team, but it's okay.
Hey, you know what? I'm gonna stop you right there, Steven, because whenever I was making this prediction last week, I
Yes.
told you guys straight up that I was worried. I told you that I was straight up worried about Detroit because I knew that they were a better team, and I knew that they had definitely gotten better in the offseason and the draft. So I'll admit I was worried.
Hey, Joey, don't worry about it. Hey, listen, Joey, don't worry about it. Randy's Raiders and the Stevens Panthers are both on the tour bus of being 0-7 right now. So at least the Commanders aren't. They're not in that 0 for bus right now.
It's all good, man.
They're on the tour to 0-17. Who's gonna get there first?
Man, wouldn't that be something real quick, Randy? Sorry, but wouldn't that be something that the Carolina Panthers, I jokingly said 17-0. What do they go 0-17? Wouldn't that be something? I would love it.
Still alive.
I would love it.
No.
I would absolutely love it.
I think the Panthers have a better chance of going 0-17 than David Tepper finally waking up and saying, you know what, maybe Matt Rule isn't the answer after all. Maybe we need to get rid of his sorry ass.
Yep, maybe rightly so. But Randy, give me your perspective on what were some games that stood out for you during week 2 this past weekend.
Like you said, saying the Dolphins and Ravens game, that was just a wild game. I could tell that was headed there when I was watching it, at the beginning. It just that vibe, that feel, and that was just amazing. And I can't believe, but Browns. I mean, I don't know how you put it, but that's just heartbreaking. But that's how it works. But other than that, I mean, I think we're starting to see Buffalo is not playing around this year, and they are just a complete team and everything. I think the whole league should, NFC, AFC, NFC, they should all be scared. And Hunter Renfro, get some stickum from Bolitnikov, you bastard. That's all I got to say.
Joey
For real.
Put that stickum on his helmet.
Hunter Renfro, he needs to put some stickum on his hands or something because he ain't doing squat for me.
He can do like Bolitnikov and stick it to his helmet, have it on his helmet, and just put the ball in his helmet and run.
I mean, for real.
What the hell?
Renfro ain't doing squat this year. I'm like, come on, man. I don't understand it.
Is it me or Joey? I think it sounds like you're underwater, bro.
Yeah, just like your football team was against Detroit.
Damn.
No, he didn't.
It does, Joey.
Yes, I did.
Steven, you ain't got no room to talk because your favorite team is 0-2, so I don't want to hear that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on. You can do better than that. Come on. They ain't my team. They never will be my team.
Yeah.
You know what?
It's a good try, Steven,
I was just letting you off easy on that one.
Okay, I appreciate that. But yeah,
For once.
You lost at the Detroit. Haha. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. Anyways, Randy, any more games that you want to talk about that were very significant to you there, buddy?
No, that's pretty much it. I mean, like I said, I just kind of amazed at like not so much the Raiders because I mean,
Oh, come on, Randy.
I'm used to them letting me down, but like the Titans being 0-2, the Bengals being 0-2, I mean, the Giants being 2 undefeated, and
19 teams.
The Colts looking like the Jags, and the Jags looking like the Colts. I mean, I don't know what to think. I don't know if I want to pick this week. It's pretty bad.
There are 19 teams as of right now. 19 teams that are 1-1.
God.
19. That's insane.
I'm not surprised.
I'm not either.
Surprised. This has already been a crazy year, and wait till y'all hear who won the prediction battle this past week. You ain't gonna believe it.
All right. And Joey, what are some of your thoughts on what are some games that stood out to you for week number 2 in the NFL?
Well, firstly, I mean, I cannot say a phenomenal week 2 performance, or I guess you could say week 2 without the Miami Baltimore game, because oh my goodness, Baltimore, they came out red hot in the first half of the game. They were schooling Tua Tagovailoa. They Lamar Jackson was just playing the best football that he possibly could. Became the first quarterback ever to have a 75-yard rushing and 75-yard passing touchdown in the same game. But then for Tua to come back, throw 2 touchdowns each to his 2 fast receivers, and Waddle and Tyreek Hill, 6 touchdowns overall, including that last one to Waddle. Oh gosh, Tua was on fire in that game. I was impressed by his performance. Yeah, he did throw 2 interceptions, but Tua is still kind of getting his feet wet. But I mean, Tua, he put on a great performance in that game, so you can't underestimate him unless they're playing Buffalo, which we'll talk about that one in just a little bit. But yeah, that game stood out to me. I don't understand how this could have happened, but the Bengals losing to the freaking Cow Turds. I was really hoping Cincinnati would have come out blazing in that game, but they just came out looking weak and pathetic. And Joe Burrow, I mean, the dude keeps getting sacked, even though the Bengals somewhat rebuilt their offensive line in the offseason, but it ain't doing much right now. It ain't doing much. Yeah, those 2 for sure. And yeah, I got to the Lions and the Commanders kind of stood out to me a little bit, because even though we started off slow, we rebounded, but just couldn't catch up in time. So, I mean, I was impressed by their effort. I was impressed by the Commanders' effort, and hopefully we can get back on the winning track next week. Not sure if we will or not, but we'll see what happens. But and also the fact that Josh Allen looked insane as always last night. Even Jalen Hurts stepped his game up when his Eagles pretty much thrashed Jay Jettis and the Minnesota Vikings. But one very interesting statistic that really stood out to me is the fact that and this wasn't one game, it was 2 separate players. Yes, I'm talking about probably the 2 best running backs in the game right now, in Derrick Henry and Jonathan Taylor. Those 2 combined had 17 carries for 68 yards. That is not how you're supposed to win a game with a running attack. So Derrick Henry and Jonathan Taylor need to step it up next week if they want to get back into the rushing yards competition, because what they did last week sure ain't gonna cut it.
That's right.
Those are my thoughts.
Absolutely. I mean, like you touched upon that, you know, how like, especially like with the Vikings, the way they played, I mean, like they didn't play worth the crap at all, you know, against the Eagles last night. And I know that there is a certain gentleman, before he probably gets to his thoughts on significant games in his opinion from this past week in week 2. I know Kevin has something he wants to get off his chest right now about a certain injury that happened this past Sunday. So, Kev, the floor is yours.
The floor is yours, buddy. Take it away.
Well, first of all, I want to say that the 49ers defense might be the best defense, they even better than what they had in 2019. They're pretty damn impressive. Actually have a star safety in the making, possible all-pro, second in the league at safety in his grade as a 90 of only under Minka Fitzpatrick. But Where I want to get to is this injury of your franchise quarterback, Trey Lance. I'm just thankful that we did keep Jimmy Garoppolo because our chances of winning the Super Bowl literally stayed the exact same, if not got better, because of the win now without the rookie mistakes. So I will say I'm glad for that, and I'm thankful for that. Like Richard Sherman said, why get rid of a motor if it ain't broke if you get a new motor for your car? Keep both motors. But here's the problem with that. The driver of the fucking car can't drive the car, and his name goes by Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan ran Trey Lance up the middle, and I get there's option plays, quarterback powers. I get it. You want him to be a factor. You want him to spread the defense out. But, I mean, it's the Seattle Seahawks. We could have won the game running the ball 75 times with Jeff Wilson Jr. for crying out loud. We had 200 yards on the ground. Why run Trey Lance when we could have just simplified the game and just ran with your running backs? We didn't need a complex game plan to beat them bums. We could have literally ran the ball fullback, halfback dive, halfback zone 20,000 times and ran up the middle and scored every single time. But no, he wants to use his quarterback. Last week against Chicago, Trey Lance ran 16 times. He gets Derrick Henry type of touches. That is absolutely ridiculous. You spent 3 first-round draft picks on this kid. You spent 3 first. That he is technically next year's first-round draft pick. And guess where he's at now? He's in a hospital room with surgery on his ankle because you run him into the ground and he breaks his freaking ankle. I get it. It's a freak accident. Shit happens. It happens. I get it. But the fact that you're calling plays like that is inexcusable. How many times have you ran Jimmy Garoppolo up the middle? My point exactly. You get happy because you get a mobile quarterback and you want to run directly up the middle, and it gives me flashbacks. It gives me flashbacks to RG3. Oh, we got a mobile quarterback, Mike Shanahan. I'm going to run him on the option every time in Washington. And guess what? Torn ACL, his career basically was over after that. Not saying that might not be the case with Lance because if you know football or anything about like sports medicine, you know that an ankle injury and a fracture is not as severe as a torn ACL or a torn Achilles. They actually came out today, the San Francisco Chronicle reported that the Trey Lance is actually going to be fully recovered in about 8 to 12 weeks. He might not miss the whole season now. They're saying that he should be back throwing by 6 weeks. So that's an interesting developing story, but it should have never come to this, was what I'm saying. Kyle Shanahan, if we don't get to the NFC Championship game, if we do not get to the Super Bowl, if we flat out choke, your job needs to be gone. Because here's an interesting stat. Under Kyle Shanahan, the 49ers in his tenure, and injuries, this and that, the 49ers are 40-43. That's not a winning record for a football team who went to 2 straight NFC Championship games or went to the Super Bowl, this and that. That's not good. And then, you could say, oh, injuries this, injuries that. It doesn't matter. You don't get to use that scapegoat for so long because then people start questioning you. How do you practice with your players? How do you get your players to practice without them getting hurt? Because it's obviously your fault as a head coach. So if they do not do something, Coach Shanahan needs to go. And I love his play calling. I don't want to say it. It hurts me to say it. But you ran your franchise quarterback, the guy who was supposed to use this year to get his grasp the game and ball, you ran him directly into the fucking ground. And for that, you should be ashamed because he is your franchise. He is the guy that was supposed to say, oh, we believe Jimmy Garoppolo, but we believe Trey Lance's ceiling could be Josh Allen-like. We want to trust that. How are you going to trust that if you can't let the kid play because you run him into a broken ankle? It's ridiculous. Other than that, though, like I said, I like the fact the 49ers got Jimmy Garoppolo as an insurance policy because if any other team lost their starting quarterback like that, they're not making the playoffs. We put Jimmy Garoppolo in, we still go 11-5 or 11-6. 11-6. It's that simple because we know we've proven to win with Jimmy. Now, when it comes down to a big game and a deep post shot like the Super Bowl, I can't promise you what's going to happen next because we've seen Jimmy not make that throw. But I can promise you he can win you games and get you into the playoffs. That's all the 49ers want right now. I just want to wish Trey Lance a speedy recovery. My prayers were with him. I'm glad his surgery Monday was successful. And hey, man, I'm just looking for next season already. I'm looking for him to show his ass, because if you want to be technical about it, the first 3 drives San Francisco had before he got hurt, he marched right up and down the field with ease. First quarter touchdown, or first field goals in the touchdown. He made it look easy. But anyway, I want to get to the games that stood out to me. First of all, I want to say Amazon Prime fucking sucks. That video quality is like watching a fucking pay-per-view without paying for the fucking pay-per-view. It's like watching a bubbly screen. That's how bad Amazon Prime is. So NFL, send that shit back to NFL Network where it belongs. You're losing money.
It was Madden 90.
Yeah. That's what it looked like. It looked like we were playing Madden 93.
Tecmo Bowl.
I bet it was almost like taking a GoPro to a camera that's like 100 yards away from the field.
It was so bad. You couldn't even look for yourself to see if Asante Samuel Jr. got the interception or not, because you couldn't even see the ball. But Steelers, Patriots, I'm just going to be real. Both teams suck. They both suck. The Patriots they might actually contend with the Jets for last place this year. I'm just keeping it real. They suck. Mac Jones is awful. He can't make the simplest of throws, and the Patriots defense ain't bailing him out, and Mitchell Trubisky about to get benched. You got Pittsburgh fans chanting for Kenny Pickett. That don't spell good. And Steven's team, the Panthers, the Giants, they're good to a certain extent. They got Saquon, and he's balling. I'll give them that. But the Giants just benefited to having to play 2 shitty teams in the Tennessee Titans, because, hell, they look like they're about to on the shittiest. They look like they're pretty shitty this year, what it looks like so far. And the Panthers, who ain't about to have a head coach. So the Giants are 2-0 because they benefited from playing shitty teams like that. Jets were just being the Jets for the first 3 quarters, and in the fourth quarter, the Browns were being the Browns. It makes for fun TV. It makes for a goofy, fun TV, because they both suck so bad that they sucked against each other. I don't want to win this game. I don't want to win it either. So the Jets came back and won it. And I told y'all last week about this one, the upset, the Jags and the Colts. I told y'all it was going to happen because of that stat, like Steven said. Most of Jacksonville's win come off of the Colts. Last year in week 18, came off of the Colts. And for some reason, they just own the Colts. And the Colts were already playing like shit coming off week 1. Should have lost to the Texans. But this week, there's no excuse. Jonathan Taylor, they didn't even try to get him going to the fourth quarter. While Trevor Lawrence looked like he was damn Patrick Mahomes throwing for 300 again. They just stink. The big one, Dolphins and the Ravens. Man, I give them, like you said, we used to call him Tua turn the ball over, but now he was Tua fly the ball over the defense, because that's what he was doing all day. And I got to respect him. 400 threw for 406 touchdowns. I don't care. Any defense in the NFL, that's pretty impressive. So give Tua his props. But I do got to say, Baltimore, they choked this game probably more than Miami won this game to me, because they inexplicably double-teamed Tyreek Hill at the wrong times. You don't double-team him when you got the whole field to go and he runs right past your defense. You double-team him in the red zone where Jalen Waddle's wide open. That was pitiful defense on the part of Baltimore. Like, I don't know what they were doing. I don't know what they were thinking. But there's one thing for sure. You can't blame this on Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson balled out too, by the way. He's trying to earn his $285 million. So that just was more Baltimore. Bucks and the Saints, it is what it is. I think losing Marshawn Lattimore actually pretty much fucked the Saints, because I think that's what Saints' best player on defense. He literally locked Tom Brady down all game. Tom Brady did not have a good game. Let's just be honest. And when they lost Lattimore, it's like Brady had everywhere to throw, and then boom, they're up 20-10. And then it don't help that Jameis Winston looks like Ray Charles again before he had his eye surgery, throwing picks everywhere and pick sixes. I know I picked the Bucks, but I think the Saints should have won that game if Jameis doesn't. I mean, they beat the Bucks with Trevor Siemian last year, for crying out loud. They should have won the damn game. But the Bucks, and Something about the Saints. Brady just can't figure it out, and I don't understand why. He goes from throwing for 300 on the on the Cowboys to, I'm throwing less than 50% completion percentage. Marshawn Lattimore shutting down Mike Evans. They fighting. Mike Evans get pissed off because Randy's guy Brady calls Marshawn Lattimore an offensive term, and he was very offensive. And Marshawn Lattimore turns back, and Mike Evans push him. But guess who doesn't get fined or suspended? Tom Brady. Imagine that. Marshawn Lattimore gets kicked out the game. Mike Evans kicked out the game. Leonard Fournette gets fined. Guess who doesn't get fined for provoking the whole damn fight, instigating? Tom Brady. That's pretty ridiculous. Now, one I really like is what I told y'all in the preseason. I said the Detroit Lions were going to be for real, man. I said the Lions were going to start having that look this year that they didn't get last year from like when they should have beat Baltimore. That bullshit look. Last year's Lions team would have let bum-ass Carson Wentz come back on them. This year's Lions team says Amon-Ra St. Brown owns the Commanders because they couldn't stop him for nothing. He ran the ball for 50 yards. He caught 100 yards, caught 2 touchdowns. He's a stud, man. And between him and DeAndre Swift, that's going to be a tough duo to stop for anybody. They might not make it far in the playoffs, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say they're going to fight for that 6 and 7 seed. They're going to be in the hunt, and they're going to have a good chance, especially with rookie Aiden Hutchinson. He got 2.5 sacks the other day. Pretty impressive. And, the only thing I'm going to say about the Falcons game is I think Randy's going into hiding because the Falcons are going to sue the Vegas Raiders and the Baltimore Ravens for copyright infringement and defamation of character because they're acting just like the Falcons blowing leads. But the Falcons actually could have beat the Rams. And I'm sorry, guys, but we talk about how tough the Rams looking. They could go back to the Super Bowl and, them in Buffalo's a preview. I'm sorry. I don't see it. Right now, I don't think the Rams could beat the Eagles. I don't think the Rams could beat the Niners. And I don't think the Rams could beat the Bucs. That's just my honest opinion. They look horrible right now. Cooper Kupp don't look like himself. Matt Stafford looks like he's washed. Defense don't look like they're tough anymore. It's just that's ugly. And
I didn't mean to cut you off there, Kevin, but going back to the Rams for just a second. If you were to take away Cooper Kupp, Matt Stafford, to me, based on how he's played so far this year, he looks like a sober Johnny Manziel.
I mean, I would agree, as sad as it is, because, and I think Sean McVay realized that. That's why Sean McVay puts a bunch of white people on the field to try to confuse the defense so he can find stuff. He's got like 4 white receivers running routes. Where's Cooper Kupp? Where's 10? I don't know. They're all white, coach. I don't know. Where's Kupp at? But yeah, the Broncos, they can't figure shit out. I'm sorry. I love Russ, but him and Pete Carroll is a marriage that should not have ended because Pete don't look the same without Russ, and Russ don't look the same without Pete. They're like Brady and Belichick. They shouldn't have ended. They look horrible. Dallas, yeah. I mean, you're talking about a Bengals team who's for some reason they're underachieving like the Colts right now, and Dallas barely won that. They blew that actually.
But see, the Bengals kind of have an excuse because they're in a Super Bowl hangover. You know.
Yeah, it always happens. It happened to the 49ers. It happened to the Bucs last year. I mean, they're in a hangover. I mean,
even the Rams are kind of in a Super Bowl hangover right now.
Yeah, and they won the Super Bowl. Yeah. Packers, Bears, should have put that on Thursday night football and change the Chargers and the Chiefs to Sunday night.
Yeah.
Now Buffalo, I don't think there's a team in the league that's on the same stratosphere right now as Buffalo. Like I said, they're my Super Bowl pick. Josh Allen's my MVP front runner, and it still stands. Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs might be the best duo in football right now.
And the scary part, guys,
anybody that can stop them.
And the scary part is that Gabriel Davis did not even play last night. And
their number 2 didn't even play. They're going to put Sprocket in there as number 2 next week, and they're still in. Go Sprocket. Yes. Put on their leg and go play.
They're going to put Joey on there. Maybe have a better connection than he does today.
Have a better connection with Josh Allen. The last game, and here's what we talked about. These damn Vikings do what the fucking Panthers do every time I pick them, and they let me down. They let me down hard like the Cowboys do their fans. I picked Kirk Cousins, but I should have known better. I didn't think, hey, this is a Monday Night Football game. Kirk Cousins is like 2-17 on Monday night. I should have known better. But, and he couldn't. Kirk, it wasn't even the rest of the offense. It's just Kirk Cousins stunk, man. He was throwing the ball right to Darius Slay. He was giving them the ball. It's like in practice.
Give it away. Now,
throw the ball.
give it away. Now, don't do two interceptions.
Y'all know Jalen Reagor got traded from the Eagles to the Vikings, right?
Yep.
How does Darius Slay have more catches than Jalen Reagor? And Darius Slay's a damn defensive back. How?
Because.
But all I'm going to say about the Eagles is, like we said about Tua, who's out for blood, Jalen Hurts is out for blood. Like we said, the first quarterback with 300 yards passing, 50-plus yards rushing, 3 touchdowns. I mean, Jalen Hurts is on
unheard of, man.
It's crazy. And what's helping him is he's playing carefree. He's got talent on the offense finally. You give him a true number one in A.J. Brown. You give him Nick Sirianni, who's a very solid coach. And just like we talk about the offensive line, but their best feature, we got to say, is the defense.
Yup.
As much as Jalen Hurts is balling, let me just tell you something. James Bradbury and Darius Slay, both corners rank in the top 5 in completion percentage allowed. That's insane. 2 corners on the same team are both in the top 5. Then you talk about their front 7, who I said when they got Jordan Davis, they were going to be damn near unstoppable with his big tail in the middle. Then you go and get Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, a true safety for them. And this defense, man, when I look at the elite defenses so far in week 2, I'm looking at 4 defenses that nobody's on the same level with. And that is Buffalo, Philadelphia, San Francisco, and Tampa Bay. That's the only 4 defenses that are above everybody else. Like, it's damn near unstoppable because all 4 defenses have just completely shut shit down. Mm-hmm. And I look for it to be that way at the end of the year, too. We all know what San Francisco's got. They actually got better on defense than their 3rd place ranking last year. We know Tampa Bay is going to be a top 5 like they've been the last 2 years. Philly, like I said on paper, when they got all those additions, I said, look for them to be top 5. Last year, they were top 13, top 12. I said,
now they got them now.
Top 5. I said, Darius Slay, big play Slay. He don't play. And Minnesota, I look for them to bounce back. You know how it is with Kirk Cousins. One game he stinks. Next game he plays like he's Aaron Rodgers. Next game after that he plays like he's damn
Cam Newton.
He plays like he's damn Case Keenum or something. And the next game he plays like Peyton Manning. So,
but it's like also another thing, Kevin, as far as talking about how Jalen Hurts is playing carefree. Well, also Tua's playing carefree as well because he's got a head coach and Mike McDaniels that is letting him be himself. And if he makes a mistake, he makes a mistake. Because if that would have been Flores, if that would have been him, he would have pulled him in the first half. And McDaniels is letting him play. He is letting him play carefree and letting him have fun. And look what he did, Sunday against Baltimore: 469 yards passing, 6 TDs, and 2 to Waddle and 2 to Tyreek. And just had a hell of a game.
My thing about Tua, like you said, Mike McDaniel, I know him because he was the 49ers offensive coordinator for 3 years under Kyle Shanahan. If there's one thing Mike McDaniel knows, he knows about how to move the ball. He knows how to score. He knows how to get the offense going. He knows offense. And he learned from Kyle Shanahan. Speed kills. That's why you get Tyreek Hill. That's why you got Jalen Waddle. That's why you went and got Mostert and those fast running backs, because at the end of the day, there's one thing that cannot be denied. Speed kills. If you get your fast guys the ball in space, they're going to score. Like the 49ers been using Debo. Get him the ball. He scores. Same way that Miami's doing. Get Tyreek the ball. Get Waddle the ball. Just get him the ball. And it's helping Tua because if you don't have that speed, I don't think Tua does what he does. I think that speed is helping boost Tua, the yards after the catch. If you was to say, let's stop the yards after the catch and just give the quarterback the yards he throws, he doesn't throw for 469. He throws for like 1 something. But because of that speed is helping boost his game. And that's what Tua needed all along, was a boost in his game and an offensive coach, not Brian Flores, who's about defense. You don't need a defensive coach. You need someone who's going to coach a quarterback and an offensive-minded coach. And
90% of the time, a defensive-minded head coach generally just doesn't do good, as a head coach, because an offensive-minded coach that also pays attention to the defense's DNA, their offense and defensive second, generally they do pretty good, and all that. So I think we were all right all along about Miami, and Miami's had a great start so far, 2-0. for the first time in God knows how long. I mean, Tua's just playing great the last couple of weeks, especially Sunday against Baltimore. I mean, that Ravens defense was no match for that
But I
offense.
also think the Ravens defense, their defensive coordinator were being a bonehead, like knuckleheads, calling some of those calls. There's just certain situations down and distance you don't double Tyreek Hill, and then there's certain situations you do double Tyreek Hill, and they just picked the wrong one. You double Tyreek Hill when he's running a post route or a Hail Mary or a go route. They didn't double him. They played one-on-one. Then, okay, say you're they're on the goal line. They're goal to go. Why are you doubling Tyreek Hill? You can only use your speed when you're in space. There's not no space when you're crammed up against the end zone. Why double him then?
Right.
Then you leave Jalen Waddle one-on-one, who is a red zone threat.
Did Baltimore forget that, okay, even if you double Tyreek, who has obviously got that need for speed, well, then you got Waddle down there who can also catch the ball, and have that burning speed. I mean, Miami has so many weapons that know how to get that need for speed going, and that right there can burn a lot of teams. I mean, just look at the Kansas City Chiefs when they had Tyreek Hill and Sammy Watkins and DeMarcus Robinson and the other guy, Hardman. I mean, those four dudes, along with Kelsey, were some of the deadliest weapons on any offensive side of the ball for any team. And when you give Patrick Mahomes those weapons for 4 to 5 years, look at the success that he's had. Super Bowl appearances twice, won a Super Bowl, went to 4 AFC championship games. And I think Tua is on his way to greatness because of a great head coach, a great system. And this Miami team, I think, is destined to go far. It may not happen this year, but Miami is fixing to start something very special down there in South Florida.
But there's one thing I want to say about Miami, though, and it's a kryptonite to Miami that certain teams will figure out. Mm-hmm. And I will say this as a former player, there's one thing about speed that you can stop, and we've seen it with the Chiefs last year. If you get a pass rush on Tua and you don't let him get time to set up and let Tyreek run down the damn field, you'll beat Miami. And you know what? That's what Baltimore was doing in the first half. They got a solid pass rush, and Tua couldn't do nothing with it. And then they just kind of, let's step back and play prevent defense and just lollygag around. And then they start coming back and beating you, and then they get the momentum. Like we've seen it with the Kansas City Chiefs. When the Cincinnati Bengals put pressure on Mahomes and Tyreek Hill couldn't get open, they look suspect. Same way that you could do to the Dolphins. But there's only a certain amount of teams that have the front seven that can do that. Right. And like I said, most of them actually reside in the NFC, if you want to be honest. Like we talk about Philadelphia, Tampa Bay, and San Francisco. That's the only front sevens I know that can really – the AFC, I don't see it. I don't see it. Buffalo, I agree. Buffalo might. That's the only thing. Buffalo. Now
that right there is the one thing that can carry you far in the postseason down the line is a great defense because, as we all know, defense wins championships, and that's what the Buffalo Bills have. Not only do they have great offensive weapons and Gabriel Davis and Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen and everybody in that great offensive line, but they also have a great defensive line, a great front seven, and a great back four in the secondary. And Buffalo's just a very, very, very dangerous team. And man, just a crazy week 2 it was in the National Football League. And before we continue, you can also, once again, folks, you can follow us on Twitter at ON_Sports Show, Facebook.com/Nation Sports Show, also on YouTube.com/Our Nation Sports Show. Like and share, subscribe this video and our show, and follow us on social media. And also, you can follow our other show, our sister show, The Nation's Corner, at Nation's Corner on Twitter, everywhere else on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. It is at The Nation's Corner. Catch the show live every Saturday starting at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 Central, 4 p.m. Pacific time. And before we get to moving on, folks, to our favorite segment of them all, our pick segment, Joey, I think you have some numbers, my friend, that you want to rattle off from last week's score predictions in week 2.
I do, but first, I do want to cover 2 little things real quick. One thing, I wonder when we're going to see Mike Evans and Marshawn Lattimore go at it in a boxing ring because
Triller, start it now.
For real. And one thing about Jalen Waddle, did you guys happen to notice that when he went up and caught that game-winning touchdown, that he jumped over those 2 guys? I mean, Baltimore was double covering him, but Jalen Waddle was like, I ain't gonna let you guys stop me. I'm gonna jump up and snag this ball and win this game for my team. And see, and I even saw that from his days at Alabama. Whenever Jalen Waddle was covered, he always found a way to catch the ball, and he's bringing that same mindset to the pros. And that's why I think one thing that Jalen Waddle was definitely destined for greatness. If he keeps this up, who knows what's going to happen for him down the line? Who knows? But now, on to our predictions. But first, the results from the prediction battle last week. It was really close once again, but instead of having one winner from last week, we have two winners because we have two guys that tied with the same record, and those two guys are Steven and Kevin. Y'all both went 10-6.
Wow.
Steven copied mine. He's a cheater like the Panthers. He copied my answers.
Y'all both
Cheated.
went.
I'm suing him for hanging out with Bill Belichick, deflating footballs. He's
Hey.
cheat sheets.
I'm going on to Cincinnati, baby. Let's go.
All right, so y'all
I hate you guys.
both went 10-6. Ezra finished third at 9-7.
Nine.
I was fourth at 8-8. And Kevin, go ahead and give Randy that Tom Brady jersey because he tanked once again. He went 7-9 this past week.
That's right.
Oh, you're just like the St. Louis Rams, the Seattle Sea Chickens. You're just like any team that is failing to fail for all the wrong reasons. So way to go, Randy. Your road to Tom Brady's jersey starts now.
Hey, you know what? Though, on all seriousness, you know what helped Ezra get the third though?
What?
Him siding with me with the Jaguars. The only person to pick the Jaguars.
Yes.
That would. And I would have won if I would have done picked them. If they didn't let me down like they do, Kirk Cousins. If you would have let me down, Kirk Cousins. Come on, man.
So overall records going into week 3. Kevin and Steven are tied at 21-11.
Wow.
I'm in third, 20-12. Ezra is one game behind, 19-13. And poor tanking Randy, he is 15-16.
Hey, he looks like the Raiders. He's just
Right.
trying to make the Raiders feel better about being 0-2. I don't blame you, Randy. It's all love. I don't blame you. I do it too.
Fantastic. Fan-freaking-tastic.
Might as well be good at losing.
Oh, Randy. You are going to so rock that Tom Brady jersey, baby. Oh, it's going to be great. But you know what, Randy? We're not just going to get you any Tom Brady jersey, my brother. You got to pick and choose, man. It's going to be either a Patriots jersey or a Buccaneers
Oh, no.
jersey.
We're going to get a custom jersey. We're going to get
But you know what?
We're going to get a Raiders jersey with Tom Brady's number and name on the back. That's what we're going to do.
And on,
Hey,
the back,
you know what?
on the back, it's going to say, tuck this in your closet far.
Yeah, we're going to get you a Tom Brady jersey on a Raiders jersey.
Now,
And there you go. Custom made that shit. That's right.
make
Hey,
sure.
but you know what, though?
What?
I've actually been thinking, and I think I found a perfect prize for a certain someone.
No.
Kevin, Randy, what do you guys think? And I know Ezra will definitely agree with this. If Steven wins, we should get him a Cam Newton Carolina Panthers jersey.
That's right. Yeah, I tell you what.
I say Chris Weekend.
If I lose this all and whatever jersey you give me, you better make sure it ain't flammable. Because that's gonna be the first thing that happens.
I had to do it, Steve. I had to.
Phenomenal. Well, if you guys are ready, we're going to move on to our favorite segment, the score predictions for week 3 in the National Football League.
And of course, I'm going to be giving Ezra scores because I got them pulled up right here.
Hey, guys, I got the games pulled up too, right here.
Starting off this Thursday, it is Thursday Night Football. Pittsburgh going to Cleveland. Who wants to go first?
Good thing it's Thursday night. I gotta watch.
I've
that
also got the
crap.
scores games pulled up as well.
Good thing it's Thursday night and ain't got to watch that crap. I ain't watching Amazon.
Oh, come on, Kevin. You know you want to watch that at shitty quality, pay-per-view style quality. Come on.
Yeah,
I would rather watch the Sea Chickens and the damn Texans play. But no, give me Cleveland. I just believe Nick Chubb's the best player on the field for both teams. I think they're going to win 20-17.
Yeah, you can watch another Amazon Prime GoPro streaming game on Thursday night. But Ezra is actually going with Pittsburgh in this one. He's going 24-17.
Okay.
But I actually like that same score, but I'm going to flip the script. Cleveland 24, Pittsburgh 17.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Steelers 20-19. It's going to be another one of those games. They always have those games that are close. A couple years ago, I remember they tied. I mean, nobody wants to win. Pittsburgh and the Clowns. The Squealers and the Clowns.
Now I'm the one that has to break the tie, and I feel under pressure. Oh, man, because either way, I mean, these two teams aren't great. I mean, Pittsburgh in week 1 against Cincinnati was good, somewhat. And then last week against the Patriots, they absolutely sucked. And the Browns, well, the Browns got a Brown against the Jets in week 2. Man, I mean, because see, here's my problem as far as with this game is on one hand, I want to pick Cleveland because they got Kareem Hunt, they got Nick Chubb, and they got the better weapons. And you know what? For once in my life, I'm picking Cleveland, but in a close one. I'm going to go 23-20 on a game-winning field goal.
Well, I mean, Kenny Pickett's got not Kenny Pickett. Mitchell Trubisky's got about the ceiling of Kyler Murray's height for his wingspan. So, I mean, that's not very big. I trust Jacoby Brissett more than I trust Mitchell Trubisky.
Yeah, I do too.
Got a good one next.
Yep, next game.
Got a good one. It's the Bills and the Dolphins.
Ooh.
Good old South Beach, Miami, Florida.
Oh, man. No, I'm going to go and start off with this one. Ezra is going Buffalo over Miami, 34-31. Honestly, Miami is good. They have playmakers on both sides of the ball, but I just cannot go against Buffalo here because Buffalo is just a superb team. They got all the weapons. It's going to be an absolute war down the South Beach. As a matter of fact, you know what? Give me Buffalo. Oh, gosh. I don't even know what to pick here. You know what? Give me Buffalo on a game-winning field goal, 38-35.
I cannot pick against Buffalo. It'll be a cold day in hell if I pick against Buffalo. Their defense is so good. Their offense is so good. Josh Allen's my MVP candidate to win it this year. I think Buffalo is hungry for success. I mean, Tua has had a great start so far with the Dolphins, but I think Buffalo is going to humble them and put them in the camel clutch. Tua Tagovailoa, you're gonna get picked off 2-3 times. You're gonna lose to the Buffalo Bills. So I'm gonna go with my Iron Sheik somewhat impersonation. I'm gonna go with the Buffalo Bills to squeak out a victory against the Miami Dolphins. I'm gonna go 35-31 on a game-winning touchdown.
Okay, I can see that.
You know what? I was really debating because I know how Buffalo is and I know how inconsistent they can get. I was debating on the upset, but I'm going Buffalo. I'm going to ride them until they finally lose one. I'm going to ride Buffalo, same score as Ezra. He stole my score like the Bears stole week 1 win, but I'm riding Buffalo. Give me Buffalo 34-31.
Yeah, I think Buffalo's going to win, but I think it's just going to be close. These two teams are going to be real players at the end down here. 24-23.
Oh, interesting. And up next on the Sunday docket, it's the Cincinnati Bengals and the New
Against
York
America's team.
Jets. Jets.
America's
Oh,
team.
God. Oh, God. So, funny story about the Jets. My wife and I went shopping over this past weekend. I'm not going to say where, but I happened
Did you
to
get her a
walk
Jets
into-
jersey, bro?
To the
No,
Jet store.
but I happened to walk inside a sports store, and of course I'm just exaggerating, but I'm gonna say it just because, well, I want to. But I saw a couple of Zach Wilson jerseys hanging up in the rafters, or I guess you could say close to the rafters, and I saw two 40-year-olds say, you know what, maybe I should get that jersey. Two 40-year-old women saying, you know what, maybe I should get that jersey because I heard he's a cougar.
Now here's a guy.
Huh. The sport coach would get that jersey. Huh, come on. You got to pick this cougar.
So what? I'm gonna start it out here. At coming off a hot win, the New York Jets will not beat the Cincinnati Bengals, but they will be close because Cincinnati has been struggling. I'm gonna say it's gonna be 28-24 Cincinnati.
Oh, okay. Ezra is, of course, picking Cincinnati. He's picking Cincinnati 21-13. Jets, I'm not gonna lie, they had a great game Sunday. They had a great comeback, but and as weak as Cincinnati has looked this year, originally I was thinking this game to be a blowout, but the way Cincinnati has looked this season, they have some issues that they need to get adjusted if they even want to even think about being a threat in not only their division but in the playoffs. But I'm still going to go with Cincinnati. Cincinnati's just too good. They're better than the Jazz right now. Give me Cincinnati. I'll say 24-13.
Ooh, this game is so hard to pick because the Bengals right now are in hangover mode. Their offensive line is again terrible. 13 sacks so far through the first 2 weeks of the season so far. The Jets are coming off of
I was saying, okay, Burr, as of right now, Joe Burr is on tap to be sacked 111 times this year.
It is so hard to decide this game because on one hand, I want to go with the obvious and pick the Bengals, but I don't know, man. Like, it's so hard to decipher with these guys because the Bengals, we thought they were going to be the team that we thought they were going to be, but they're not looking like it so far. But man, like, and the Jets beat the Browns in one of the most craziest ways last week, but somebody's got to win. Somebody has to lose, and I'm going to pick the Bengals. I don't like it, but I'm picking the Bengals. I'm going to pick the Bengals to pull this one out barely, 26-23.
Okay.
Randy?
Yeah, I got the Bengals. I don't see Joe Cool going 0-3.
No, there's no way.
Yeah,
No, I don't see it either.
25-22. The Jets are a little scrappier than we thought, so I'll give them 25-22.
Okay. Next on the docket, it is Randy's Vegas Raiders versus the Tennessee Titans.
Oh, all right. So Ezra is actually picking a very close one. He's going Las Vegas 28-27. I honestly don't know who to pick in this game because Derrick Henry, for one thing, he has not looked the best this season. I have been really disappointed by Derrick Henry's performances through the first 2 weeks of the season. I mean, especially last night.
25 carries for 13 yards.
That is not something that I'm supposed to see out of King Henry.
No.
We can't see that. Derrick Henry, he needs to get his act together if he wants to be back into the legitimacy class of high class running backs. But it could start this upcoming week, but then again, it could not. But it just all depends on what we see out of Derrick Henry. But despite that, despite what we see out of Derrick Henry, I think Vegas has too much talent. They're coming off a rather disappointing loss to a scrambling Kyler Murray. And the Raiders are going to be wanting to go back on the winning side of things, especially with the talent that they were able to acquire in the offseason. So give me Las Vegas. I'm going to say Vegas 24, Tennessee 20.
Okay, I'm going to go with the Raiders in this one because I don't trust Tennessee at all in this game because Tannehill has been playing bad. Derrick Henry so far has not been to his normal MVP caliber, ways the last couple of weeks to start out the year. I'm going to go with the Vegas Raiders in this one. I'm going to go 24-17.
Yeah, I got to go with the Raiders for the simple fact that what the Raiders' problem been to this point is they have a piss poor secondary. The other to that is Tennessee can't throw the damn ball. So Tennessee got out caught by Stephon Diggs by himself. So give me the Raiders in a close one. I'm going to go 27-20.
Oh, Randy?
Well, let's see. It's Oakland versus the Oilers. But I don't know. I don't know what to think. The Raiders did good for 3 quarters. Maybe they think the game lasts 3 quarters. I don't understand. They like to give up at the end there. And Tennessee, man, I don't know what their deal is. It's hard to say because they could turn it all around. And Derrick Henry could rush for 100, 150, 200 yards. He's that good. You just never know. I really don't know what to pick here, to be honest. But I think the Raiders and McDaniels will figure it out. And that 0-3 is the Raiders need to figure it out. So I think they'll pull it out though. But I think it's going to be 31-27.
Okay, next on the docket is an NFC South matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the Carolina Panthers in Charlotte, North Carolina.
All right, so Ezra.
Oh no!
I love this. Ezra is picking Saints 27. Steven's favorite team 10.
No. If I had a Ric Flair jacket or whatever, I would elbow drop that thing right now. Woo! Let's go. No, that ain't my thing. No. What?
Well, I tell you what I'm going with. I don't think Carolina's good. No, I know Carolina's not good.
Hey,
the Saints are going to want revenge. I'm going to go Saints 21-9.
Ooh.
They suck. 3 field goals for the Panthers. That's all you get.
And see, And Steven, we all know you're gonna say Panthers 45, Saints 0. So
Man,
just
get
it
the
out now.
hell out of here with
Yeah,
that
we'll do it
crap.
for you.
Anyways, okay. Anyways, I'm gonna go with the New Orleans Saints. Who that, baby? I'm picking against my favorite team. If y'all want to keep calling them my favorite team, but I don't.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the Saints to beat the Panthers 24-14.
Ooh, being
Alright,
nice. He's being nice to his favorite team.
Oh yeah,
Two
I'm being
touchdowns?
generous. Why
Wait
not?
a minute.
Why not? Yeah, wait a minute now. Wait a minute now. Yes, that's right. In 3 weeks is my birthday, baby. That's right. That's right. I'm
Okay.
feeling a little generous. And if I wasn't, I would say 24-0, just like the Colts
Oh.
against the Jags.
Oh, wait a
I'm
minute.
just
You
saying,
said,
but you know,
wait a minute. You said your birthday's coming up in 3 weeks.
yeah,
I should,
3 weeks, bro.
I should buy you some Carolina Panthers season tickets.
Man.
There you go.
Yeah, they're on sale at the Family Dollar at your
All
local
right.
Dollar General, folks.
I got the Saints 24 and Carolina Wyand 10.
All right.
Next.
I'm actually gonna go Saints 27, Carolina 6.
Up next on the docket, it is the New England Patriots versus the Baltimore Ravens. And I'm going to start this one out because you have one pissed off Baltimore team that is looking for vengeance and looking to exact revenge. And unfortunately, Mac Jones and the New England Patriots are in Lamar Jackson's way. And I think Lamar Jackson's going to have a great game, a great performance, and that's why I'm picking the Ravens to beat the Patriots 28-10.
I'm going to go
All right.
the same thing. I think the Ravens are pissed off. And another thing is, even with Brady, Belichick cannot beat Lamar Jackson. He can't figure out how to stop him. I think they're going to run all over them. And if it comes down to a quarterback matchup, Mac Jones couldn't even tie the shoes of Lamar Jackson. I'm sorry. So give me Lamar and the Ravens. Give me them 31-7.
Ooh.
Boing.
Wow. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
My score is going to be along the same boat, but Ezra's saying Baltimore 17, New England 14. My score is going to be about the same boat as Kevin's, but I'm going to add a few extra points on both sides. Give me Baltimore 34, New England 10.
All right. Randy?
Yeah. They're Patriots are still trying to find their way, I think. I'm not sure what their answer is this week. But yeah, I got Ravens winning 24-20.
Oh, thank God you got it in there because you're gonna just going, pick the score.
Hey, at least Randy's on the right side of things and picking Baltimore.
Yeah, because it'd be crazy if you beat the Patriots. Oh God, I could do this all day, every day. Speaking of that, next on the docket, it is the all right. Gotta get little Detroit Rock City, the Detroit Lions versus the Minnesota Vikings. Oh yeah.
Man, to me, this is going to be a tough dog fight.
This game is going to be hard to pick.
Division game, two teams who are vastly improved from last year. We've seen how Detroit actually beat Minnesota last year at the end and almost had them in the first game. I think Detroit has Minnesota's number, but recent trends show how Kirk Cousins is. One game he's off, one game he's on, one game he's off. Last night, he was off. So I'm going to continue that trend. I'm going to say he's going to be on Sunday, and I think the Minnesota Vikings pull it out on a last-second field goal, 36-35. I think this marks 3 straight games that the Detroit Lions scored 35 points.
All right, next.
Wow.
Man.
Did they give out free drugs at Darling that they didn't give out at Valley, or what's going on over there? I'm gonna have to go. I mean, drop your bag.
You said you wanted to go be a Bucks fan, a Brady fan. Okay, I got that jersey for you in the cart right now, ready for you.
Yep.
Brady in black and
your-
silver, just like Dana White wanted.
Yeah, and then we're gonna have Pete Carroll replace Shanahan when he gets fired. So
I would take Pete Carroll. I like Pete. He's just old as dust, but I like Pete. I don't like rest.
Poor pitiful Pete.
no,
They don't want to worry about playing Pete twice a year.
dumb. Oh, dumb. Sorry.
Brandon, who you got? Detroit or Minnesota?
Oh yeah, Minnesota. I mean, Detroit. It'll be a good game. I think Minnesota will come back. Justin Jefferson will things. See 28 21.
28-21.
Okay.
Joey, who you got?
Let's see. Ezra is picking Minnesota 27-24. Oh God, this is gonna be a hard one to pick. Oh man.
It's hard, man. Like, I don't know. Like,
I honestly don't know. I mean, Detroit has looked so good this year. And the thing is, I mean, yeah, they've played two NFC East teams, but one of the NFC East teams that they played is actually could be a dangerous threat to win the East, and that, of course, is Philly. And Detroit put up 35 points on that defense in a losing effort.
Mhm.
I mean, I honestly do not know. I mean, like Kevin said, Kirk Cousins pretty much has this regimen all figured out. He's Albert Einstein one game, but then he's a sober Johnny Manziel the next week. And then the next week, he's Sylvester Stallone in a NFL uniform.
you gotta eat lightning and crack thunder.
And then the week after that, he's like Urban Meyer in a bar.
Wow.
I don't know. I mean, it all depends on what version of Kirk Cousins we see this week, because Kirk Cousins at sometimes here and there, he can go a span of 2 to 3 weeks and not play his best football. I mean, we've seen it happen. We've seen it happen in Washington, and of course, we've seen it happen in Minnesota. But it also all depends on if Jay Jettis, Adam Thielen, and Dalvin Cook can step up their games. Because, I mean, this is just really, really hard to pick. So, can't believe I'm actually doing this, but I am going against the grain. I am picking Detroit in this one. I think it's going to be an absolute dogfight. We don't know what version of Minnesota we're going to see. I don't know if we're going to see the one that demolished Green Bay in week 1 or the team that looked like a bunch of washed up hobos last night against Philly. But I am going Detroit on a game-winning field goal. Check this score out, y'all. 38-37.
Wow. You know what? Man, this is so tough, man. Like, this is because on one hand, I want to pick Minnesota because Kirk Cousins and that offense, they have so many weapons. But on the other hand, you don't know which Viking team you're going to get because Kirk Cousins is so up and down. You know, and Detroit, the last couple of games against the Vikings, won one and almost won another one. And Detroit has some very interesting pieces on this team. And the Vikings do as well. And, man, I don't know which way to go with this because, you know what? Okay. I don't feel good about it, but I'm going to pick the Vikings to win this one in a close one. I'm going to go on a I'm going to go 24-20 Minnesota.
Okay.
Next on the docket, it is another divisional matchup. It is the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Washington Commanders.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have to go with Philly. From what I seen Monday, they might win the NFC East by week 10. I think it's a walkaway division for them. If Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown stay healthy, that offensive line and that defense is serious. I've got to go Philly. I'm going Philly, 31-20.
Okay.
I'm gonna go. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say Ezra is going with the Commanders, 24-13.
Whoa!
Damn.
No.
Did he watch last night? Did he watch that shit?
Hold up. Okay. No wonder Ezra's a Bears fan because he would have picked that score for the Commanders to beat Philadelphia. But no, before you get your score, Joey, I'm going to go with Philadelphia. Fly, Eagles, fly. 34-14. Take that.
Randy, you go ahead because I got something to say about this game.
Oh, no. All right, I got.
Randy, you're as quiet as Tom Brady after
What?
speech.
I don't know what you said, you some bitch, but we couldn't hear a damn thing you just said.
Yeah, I think. Well, I mean, I can go what Steve wants to do and pick the Panthers every game. You can't do that, dude.
What?
What?
Every game. Yeah, I knew it. But yeah,
Is that funny?
funny, haha, funny like a clown.
Yeah, you going with Philly or Washington, Randy?
I'm going with Philadelphia.
All right.
What's your score?
24-10.
Oh, all right.
All right. So now is my pick.
Here we go.
This game I know is in Washington.
He's going to pick the Commanders.
Me being a Commanders fan, I always want to see my boys do the best. I do. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. But as bad as I want to see the Commanders win this game, I'm going with my gut here. I'm picking Philly. I'm picking Philly in this game. I think Philly has something to prove over them not being able to be a threat in the NFC East. Yeah, they've been a threat year in and year out, but I think the Eagles now have a legitimate chance to actually be a threat for years to come. And I hate to say it, but it's gonna have to start with my Commanders on Sunday. Give me Philadelphia 31-21.
All right. Moving on to the next game. We got the Chiefs and the Colts.
This one's gonna be easy. This one's gonna be easy.
I'm gonna start this one out.
All right, go ahead.
I'm going with the Colts.
I know you lied.
To get their asses whooped.
There you go.
38 38-3. 38-3.
Good God.
I'm not ready to make nice and I'm not ready to back down because the Colts absolutely laid one of the biggest eggs you could ever lay on God's green earth against the Jacksonville Jaguars on Sunday. Give me a freaking break. You know what? I almost had another shutout for this, but no, I'm going to be a little nice. 38-3 Kansas City.
Ezra is going Kansas City 30-7. I'm gonna go ahead and go next. One thing that I definitely want to see this week is Jonathan Taylor getting all the carries that he needs to get because you can tell that the reason why the Colts put up a big fat goose egg last week is because Matt Ryan wanted to throw the ball more than three times the amount of handing the ball off to Jonathan Taylor. And even though Jonathan Taylor only got 9 carries in that game, he got 54 yards. That's 6 yards a carry. So I mean, Ryan, listen here, buddy. I know you like to pass and everything, but put the ball in Jonathan Taylor's hands if you really want to have a shot. But despite all that, I think the Chiefs are definitely going to win this game. Give me the Chiefs. You know what? I'll be a little bit lenient. Hopefully, Jonathan Taylor will get me about 2 rushing touchdowns. Give me Kansas City 37-14.
Oh, you're being a little nice there, Joey. That's nice of you.
I'm being nice, mainly because I got Jonathan Taylor in our fantasy league, and I want him to do
Well,
good.
that's nice.
I will say this: that
Good
theory,
stuff.
that theory sounds good until the Chiefs. You look up and they're up by 2 touchdowns. Then you can't run the ball anymore. Then it's just desperation mode. I'm going the Chiefs 32-12.
Wow, that's an odd score.
That's a
Nothing
very
but
odd
field goals for the
score.
Colts. 4 field goals.
Randy, who you got?
Yeah, I hate to say it, but I got the chefs. Damn chefs.
Yeah.
Damn chefs.
Them damn chefs overcooked my damn food and come in there and kick their ass.
Damn it, Paul. What the hell?
Damn, Bob, you overcooked my damn food.
I think it'll be 35-20.
Wow, look at you being generous, man. Man, come on. Hey, it's not even credit that. Come on.
The Colts
Hey.
score all 20 in the last 3 minutes of the game. Garbage time.
Wow.
All
Wow.
right, so I think we got just one game left in the 1 o'clock slot.
And I think we do because come on, baby. Don't you want to go to Sweet Home Chicago? Because it is the Bears hosting the Houston Texans. And I'm going to start this one out. I'm going to go with Chicago in this one. It's going to be ugly. I'm going to go 17-16.
Oh,
Yes. Yes.
Whoa.
A
Okay.
game-winning touchdown.
Okay.
Game-winning touchdown. 17-16. Next.
So, Ezra is of course picking his Chi-Town Bears. He's picking the Bears 20-10. I actually think this game is going to be a little bit spaced out because Houston, they don't have it. At least not from my perspective right now. They do not have it.
No.
Give me an up and coming Chicago Bears team 24-7.
Yeah, I got the Bear. I think the Bears will take it 17-14.
Okay.
Here's why I ended up in the league last week. I'm going against the grain. I just think, man, I mean, looking at Chicago, they benefited from a bunch of bad penalties week 1 to even get on the scoreboard. And then last week they got the shit beat out of them by Green Bay with no receivers. I'm going Houston. I think this Houston stuck around to fight with Denver long enough, and they stuck around and should have beat Indiana. I mean, they was up 17 on them. I'm going Houston. It's going to be ugly, 16-14, Houston.
Ooh, all right.
Have mercy. We actually got a different selection between Steven and Kevin for once. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Ladies
Steven
and
won't
gentlemen,
stop copying my answer, so I had to
I
steal
did.
another one.
I didn't think it was possible, but we have
Oh,
a
he ain't tying me
choice
this week.
between the
I mean,
two.
Kevin Garnett said it best when the Sonics won the championship. Anything is possible.
Like Ray Lewis said, you got to pick different if you want to win it. You can't tie it. And Steven keeps copying my answer, so I'm going different. He ain't tying me this week.
Yeah. He's the host. He can change them. Nah.
Now the 4 o'clock games.
Randy,
we got-
hold up, Randy.
Oh, Randy, you got-
did
Oh, yeah,
you get your score, Randy?
I don't think so.
I don't think he did either. So pick it.
Wait, which one was it? Texans?
It's the Texans and the Bears in Chicago.
Yeah, I did. I had this. It was
The shit
17.
town Bears.
Yeah, 17-14. Yep.
Yep. As a matter of fact, that is the last of the 1 o'clock games because we're moving on to 4 o'clock. It is going to be the Jacksonville Jaguars going to Los Angeles to take on.
Steven, say it right. The first place Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yes, that's right. The first place Jacksonville Jaguars.
There we go.
Cons football team. Jacksonville first place in the AFC South versus the Los Angeles Chargers in Tinseltown, LA.
I'll start with this one. I want to take this one. I'm gonna say the Chargers win, but I like what I've seen from this Jacksonville offense under Doug Peterson. I think it's gonna be not a dog fight, but it's gonna be a shootout. I got the Chargers 33-24 over Jacksonville.
Okay.
You know what?
All right.
What the hell? I'm throwing caution to the wind. Upset special, baby.
No.
Yes. You got it. Hey, you got to be different sometimes, right? I'm gambling here. The hell with it. That's right. I'm going to pick the Jacksonville Jaguars in a close one. I'm going to go, listen to this. I'm going to go Jacksonville 33-30 on a game-winning field goal.
Lord, I swear, if we get to the end of this week and I see another tie between Kevin and Steven, I'm gonna pull my freaking hair out.
Yeah.
Hey, if John Madden was alive, may he rest in peace, he would look at Steven and say, "Huh, are you serious? A smart coach would pick the Chargers." May he rest in peace. I love John
I feel
Madden.
like gambling. What the hell? Why not?
Are you
Yeah,
serious?
You serious?
Joseph, Joey, I'll pull my hair out too. Okay.
Randy, you ain't got no hair. I don't want to hear that, man.
Oh wait,
Even-
my fault. My
Even
fault.
I can see that, Randy, that you ain't got no hair.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. I think I hope you're right, Stephen, that the Jags beat the Bolts, but I think the Bolts will take it, but it's going to be close. I think it's going to be 28-25.
Ooh, I like it.
Okay.
I like it.
All right.
Okay.
So Ezra is picking the Chargers 27-17. I'm gonna go the Chargers in overtime
Oh,
on a game-winning touchdown, 30-24.
wow. Next, it is the defending Super Bowl champion Los Angeles Rams versus the Arizona Cardinals in Arizona.
Fuck them both.
Oh.
They can both go die and get off this earth. Get out of the league. Fuck them both. I'm going with the team where the quarterback's over 6 foot. I'm going with the Rams because Kyler Murray's going to get sat on by Aaron Donald, throw it, pick in the end zone. It's going to get ugly. The Cardinals don't have D-Hop. They're going to look like they did in the playoffs. I think
You
Cooper
serious?
Kupp comes out. Give me the Rams 30-10.
I'm going to go almost the same score. I'm going to go with the Rams 31-10.
Yeah, Aaron Donald's going to hit him harder than that. Kyler Murray harder than that fan did.
Randy, I know you just didn't say Sam
Yeah.
Darnold.
Yeah.
Randy, did you say Aaron Donald or Sam Darnold? I heard
Either,
Sam Darnold.
either one.
Sam
they're
Darnold
both-
couldn't hit
they're
a
both-
damn ghost that he's chasing.
They're both just as tall. They're both taller than Kyler Murray, so it doesn't matter. Sprocket's
I
taller.
got
than
an
Kyler
iguana
Murray.
that's taller than Kyler Murray.
Yeah, Sprocket's got him by a foot.
But yeah, who is fucking gonna pick in this game?
Sprocket's got he's got the Rams.
Nice.
Like I said, they're
Yeah.
got them
Yeah.
winning because he's mad like I am at the Cardinals. So yeah, And cats don't like birds too much, so
Yeah, he's got a point there.
that's where we're going with.
He's
Got a
right.
point there.
Sprocket. He's right.
Ezra is picking the Rams 34-20. I'm gonna go with the same score for the Rams, but I'm gonna dip it quite a bit for the Cardinals. Give me the Rams 34-10.
Okay. Next on the docket, it is
Well. I do want to say something about Kyler Murray. I know what's going to happen. Sean McVay is going to sneak into Kyler Murray's house and take his playbook and hide it on the top shelf so he can't reach it. That's how they're going to beat the Cardinals. Sean McVay's a sneaky one. You little short fucker. You ain't catching his playbook along with his ex.
Hey, no. Better yet. Here's something better.
come on. You got to catch this playbook.
Hide on the stool. They climb up on.
Here's something even better. Sean McVay, Cooper Kupp, and Aaron Donald are going to sneak into Kyler Murray's house, take his video games away, and say, "Listen to me, Kyler Murray. If you want your video games back, you must watch at least 4 hours of game footage."
Yep.
And then the ghost of John the ghost of John Madden's gonna come through and say, a smart coach wouldn't be playing the video game all night. A smart quarterback wouldn't do this.
Come on. You got to take the points here.
There you go, Chris Collinsworth. Now here's a guy who needs to watch the video game footage.
Just don't watch.
And here's Randy's favorite two quarterbacks coming up.
Yes, as a matter of fact, that game is next on the docket. It is the Green Bay Packers versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I don't know if we're watching a football game or a retirement home induction. I don't know. Between them two old fuckers.
Hey, but
You know what? I'm going with the
but Randy changed his name to Sprocket, so that's cool.
I would pick Sprocket to be my quarterback before I pick these jabronis. But I'm going with the defense. I'm going with Tampa Bay. I think it's going to be close. Give me Tampa Bay 21-18.
Okay, that's a close score.
Ooh, that's.
Right,
Aaron Rodgers ain't going to get his way out of this one.
Hey, let's see. We all know who Randy's going to pick, so you might as well go ahead and give us your pick, Randy.
Yeah. The Packers, they're playing some team. I'm not sure who it is. What do you think, Sprocket?
Sprocket's like, I don't care. These two teams both freaking suck.
Sprocket's laying there like Kyler Murray after that dude punched him in the face. There you go, Sprocket. All right, yeah, Packers. Packers by 50. All right, that's my pick.
Man, bullshit.
I agree. I feel you.
Joey?
Sprocket liked it.
Let's see. I do want to say these are Ezra's words, not mine. But he's picking the Bucks 31-18 with in parentheses, fuck those cheesehead assholes.
Hey, he got 18 too. See, I told you mine wasn't completely weird.
But I'm actually gonna go Tampa in this one, even though they're gonna be without Mike Evans this week because of him wanting to pick a fight with Marshawn Lattimore yet again.
Yep.
Say it like it's supposed to be. Brady provoked a fight between them two goons.
Yeah, there you go.
Instigated
I don't know if we're going to talk about this at some point later on after we get done with our predictions, but I do think it's quite interesting that for the rest of the season, Tom Brady is going to be given every single Wednesday off for personal reasons. I think that's a little interesting, if you ask me. But
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Randy Giron's favorite quarterback, and that's of course Tom Brady. Give me Tampa Bay 31-24.
I'm gonna go with the Bucks in a close one. I just don't know about this Packers team. They're very suspect to me because they have a lot of holes in their offensive game, and I'm gonna go Tampa Bay 28-23.
Okay. All right, I think we got one more game at the 4 o'clock slots before we move on
Yes,
to
we
Sunday
do.
night football. And I believe that is the battle that probably nobody wants to see. And that's
Wait a minute. Guys. Guess what? It's the game we've all been waiting
Shut up.
for.
Dude, you're not pulling an Ezra this week. Don't try that mess.
Yes, I am, baby. It's the Falcons against them
Sea
damn
Chickens.
sea chickens.
The dirty birds and the sea chickens.
Oh, God. Somebody has to win. Somebody has to lose. I don't feel any comfortable about this game. Like, oh, dear heaven almighty. I'm
I'm gonna be completely honest here. I'm going with the Falcons 9-6 against the Sea Chickens. Falcons.
oh, God.
You know what? I'm gonna go with the Sea Chickens. I can't believe I'm actually saying this, but I'm actually gonna go with them because they have just a little bit more talent on both sides of the football than Atlanta
Yeah.
does. I'm gonna go
Yeah.
Seattle. I'm gonna say a battle of the field goals here, even though I do have Rashad Penny in both my leagues this year. I would like to see him do good, but I don't know if I want to see the Seattle team do good. But give me Seattle 10-9.
Give me Seattle. I don't feel good about it because these both teams absolutely suck. I'm going to go with the Sea Chickens over the Dirty Birds 14-10.
Hey,
I
Kevin,
got
did you
the
pick
I got the
yours?
Falcons pulling this one out somehow. It's going to be 12-10.
Wow, look at that score.
Hey,
That's a
Kevin,
beau-
did you pick?
Yeah, I
That's a
said
beau-
9-6 Falcons.
That's a
That's
beauty, right?
right.
That's a beauty right there, mate. 12-10, right there, mate.
All right, and Ezra, he's picking the Falcons over the Sea Chickens 18-13.
Wow. Okay.
Chickens.
Sunday Night Football on NBC. San
this-
Francisco
Yeah, Kevin, this game is for you, boy.
Against the
Francisco.
Walmart Donkeys.
versus the
Great
Denver
value brand
Donkeys.
donkeys.
Yeah, the Walmart rollback donkeys.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm gonna sit back, roll back, watch the Denver Donkeys get the absolute crap smacked out of them by San Francisco. I'm gonna go San Francisco, and this is not gonna be close. I'm gonna go 34-10.
Okay. Ezra's picking San Francisco 24-14. I'm going to go with San Francisco 31, Denver 7.
Ooh.
Similar score. I just think Russ and them, without Pete Carroll, Russ and company and that bum-ass offense struggled against the Houston Texans. Imagine playing the San Francisco defense that leads in passing yards per game, points per game. Yeah, it's not going to be pretty. Jimmy G's going to lead them, like always, like the last 4 years. 27-7 over the Donkeys. The great value. Their offense been playing like their great value brand. And they're going to get treated like it too.
Hey,
Nick Bosa and company is going to eat them up, and it's going to be 27-7. They make Geno Smith look like Patrick Mahomes. They're going to make Jimmy Garoppolo look like Steve Young.
Yeah, I got
Hey.
Wow.
hey, so Kevin, real quick, how many times do you think Ward's going to pick off Russell Wilson, or Money Ward's going to pick off Russell Wilson? 2 or 3 times?
Depends on if he throws it that way. I think he's scared to throw it. He might throw it over the middle. If that's the case, Fred Warner going to catch him one.
Yeah.
I'm going to say 1. And then he's going to get in the end zone and say, take that, donkey.
Yeehaw!
I think Sprocket needs to be the new logo for the donkey.
Yeah. He
Great
weighs as much.
choice.
Sprocket weighs as much as a donkey. That's for sure. I got the Niners. The Niners winning 34-17.
Okay.
The greatest game on turf, the last but not least.
Yes.
Oh, dear God.
Monday Night Football. The Dallas Cowboys and the New York
Cowboys.
Football Giants.
Against the undefeated first place Giants.
And you know what? I'm going with the team in blue, baby. The New York Giants are going to smack around the Dallas Cowturds. I'm going to go with the G-Men, 27-14 on Dallas.
All right. Ezra is actually picking Dallas in this one, 14-13.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That's a terrible score.
I'm actually going to agree with Ezra because last year I picked the Giants in an upset and they broke my heart like Cowboys break their fans' hearts. So I'm going to pick Dallas in this one, 22-20.
Oh, I like that score.
I got to. I'm not picking them again.
All right, Randy.
Yeah, I got. I think the Giants will win 24-21.
Ooh, I like it.
Giants. Oh.
So that means I gotta break the tie here because we got 2 people picking Dallas and 2 people picking the G-Man. So I gotta break the tie to finish off this prediction battle for week 3. And who the heck am I kidding? I can't stand them cow turds. Give me the G-Man. Give me the G-Man in this one. I'm gonna go 23, and heck, I'll be nice to Dallas, 13.
Oh, that's nice of you, Joey. That's very nice of you. And those are our scores for week 3 in the NFL. And if the NFL has proved to us, not once, but the last 2 weeks, the insanity is only just beginning.
Just starting.
Yep. It's just starting, folks. And once again, you can follow us on Twitter at @ON_sports show, Facebook.com/Nation Sports Show. And also you can like, share, and subscribe to our stuff here on YouTube, YouTube.com/Our Nation Sports Show. We are live every single Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern to 9 o'clock Eastern, or whenever the hell we decide to get off the air. And you can also follow the Nation's Corner on Twitter at Nation's Corner. Everywhere else on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, it is at the Nation's Corner, where you can catch the show live every Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 Central, 4 p.m. Pacific time. And now that we got all the scores and predictions out of the way, kind of get to a little bit of news, guys. And I think the biggest thing we can start this out with is the fact that Mike Evans and Lattimore have been suspended for at least a game from the altercation from this past Sunday between the Bucs and the Saints, and rightly so. Rightly so, they're being suspended. And, and Kevin or Joey, you brought that up. That was a good point. How Brady, you said, is taking Wednesdays off?
Yep, he is taking Wednesdays off. I saw it on Facebook. It said for the rest of the season, Tom Brady is going to be having Wednesdays off as a personal day. So that's
wow.
It's interesting. It's interesting. Oh, but let me tell you right now, I mean, I know we're going to be talking a little bit of baseball, so we might as well go ahead and bring it up just a little bit. I'm still keeping close tabs on this close NL East race between the Braves and the Mets. And right now, I got my hopes up. At least for tonight, I got my hopes up. The Braves are just 1 game behind on the Mets, and I'm looking at ESPN right now, and I'm seeing in the Mets, they're taking on the Milwaukee Brewers, and in the bottom of the 4th, the Brewers are up 3-0 on the Mets, and my Braves are at home taking on the Washington Nationals, and at the top of the 5th, the Braves are up 2-0. So if those leads hold up, we could be in another tie for the NL East. Let's go. I want to see it. I want to see it so bad.
Man, it's going to be a crazy last couple of stretches. I mean, Judge is so close to that home run record.
Only 2 away.
2 away. He's at 59 right now, I believe, correct?
Yeah.
59.
It's going to be very interesting to see which one is going to happen first.
Mm-hmm.
And Aaron Judge breaking Roger Maris's home run record.
Mm-hmm.
Or Albert Pujols hitting home run number 700.
That's right.
Because you got to think. Judge is only 2 home runs away from tying, and Albert Pujols is only 2 home runs away from hitting 700. So who knows? Who knows what's going to happen first?
What's that?
I said, who knows what's going to happen first?
Yeah, exactly. And also, I mean, like you got the Mets, they're at least going to get a wild card spot.
Oh,
At least they got that for them because I mean, they won.
And so are the Braves, hands down.
Yep. So we know that both of these teams are going to get in the postseason, but it would be very interesting to see at the end of the year which one of these two teams could possibly be one of the wild card teams. And if that were to happen, whoever it's going to be, that's going to be rather interesting to see what happens because with those 1 games on the wild card spots, it's a very interesting dynamic as far as how the games can go because baseball, like we know with football and hockey, is very unpredictable.
You got that right. Right.
But yeah, baseball has been having some crazy games the last couple of days.
It's insane. It is insane.
I tell you what. I mean, like the way that your Braves are playing, the way Montgomery and Mike's Mets are playing, like it's really tremendous how down the stretch baseball has had a really good stretch this year.
Oh,
There's the star.
I'm gonna let her pick next week's score. I'm gonna let her pick next week's score like Randy did his coworker.
Hey, what's up? What's up, August?
Hey, August. Who's your favorite football team?
Who's your favorite football team?
Lisa.
So let's go Niners.
Madness.
That a baby girl.
Stop it.
See.
See, I'll tell you what, man. She is as precious as she can be.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
He's
sure
gonna pick the
wild
Jets
one
to win
too.
next week.
Hello.
If Randy was still on the show, he would be very disappointed to hear that. Oh man, I mean, like my goodness, guys, like the madness is just getting started. I mean, like with the rest of the NFL season happening and the playoffs for MLB is coming up very soon, and who knows who's going to be in these wild card spots because man, these games are so tight. Like that series between the Mets and the Braves at the end of the year is going to be absolutely bonkers.
Let me look and see those dates. I just had them pulled up. Oh, shoot. Give me just a second. Okay, yeah. Next Friday, September 30th through October 2nd. Whoa, boy. Yeah. And I actually just got word the other day, and I'm glad. I am so glad they're doing this because this game on Sunday could very well determine who takes home the NL East. So thank goodness ESPN and MLB did the right thing, and the game between the Mets and the Braves was supposed to be at 1:30 in the afternoon, but they have moved that Mets and Braves game to Sunday night baseball. Yes.
And rightly so, because the Mets and the Braves have been neck and neck with each other all season long.
Pretty much all season.
Yep. For 3 months, they've been neck and neck with each other, and rightly so. Those two teams are going to go at it, and it's going to be an absolute phenomenal of a series.
So you better believe Sunday night at 7 o'clock. I know I don't watch a lot of baseball, but you better believe my ass is going to be sitting on the couch watching that game perform live. You better believe I'm going to see it.
Man, wouldn't that be something if it comes down to that one game between both of these teams?
That would be insane. That would be insane.
Dude, you couldn't ask for anything better if that were to happen. I mean, because I know the NFL is king during these times, but MLB, man, when the iron is hot, you got to strike it while it's hot. And if I'm the Mets and the Braves and it's game 163, Yes, please. The marbles are on the table. Let's go. These two teams, rightly so, New York and Atlanta, two top dog teams in the NL East. Somebody has to be the winner. Unfortunately, somebody has to also be the loser. And
it is possible that game could come down to the team who grinds out the NL East, because in the last series of the year, which will be that Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday after that game of Sunday Night Baseball, the Mets are playing against the Nationals and the Braves are playing the Marlins. So we both know the Marlins and the Nationals are absolute garbage. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting.
yes, it is. I mean, my goodness, guys. I mean, we've had a great show with you. I've had a great time with you guys tonight. Unfortunately, Ezra, like I said at the top of the show, couldn't be here because of family obligation. But Ezra, we can't wait to have you back on next week, bro, and talking about the insanity of week 3 in the NFL. And before we go, I also want to talk a little bit of college football. Man, how about Appalachia State, man? Holy crap. 32-28 on the game, or 30-28 on the game-winning Hail Mary. That was insane.
And keep in mind that the person who tipped the ball to win that game for Appalachian State, or tipped that ball to the receiver, was a freshman that played high school football for the one and only Richmond Senior High Raiders.
Yes, that's right.
So I'm telling you one thing, Richmond Senior, they have had a great time this year, having guys represent from East Carolina to Campbell to Appalachian State to North Carolina. Oh man, I mean, they've had a lot of success this year.
They have, for sure, my bro. And Matt, I've enjoyed tonight with all of you guys. And if there's anything you could think of to talk about, say it now. You got anything?
I think my mind's all clear.
I think mine is too. And I know Kevin and Randy have dropped, and I know they enjoyed tonight's show. But give me your final thoughts on the night show, my brother.
What an amazing show with you guys. Hate that we were one man short, but I understand family obligations have to come first. So
Exactly.
Ezra, hope everything turns out good. Looking forward to having you back next week. As a matter of fact, looking forward to having a 5-man crew back next week. So once again, another great show with you guys. Love coming on here every single week and talk sports with you guys, especially some good old fashioned NFL football. And if you're a football fan, we got another full slate of games starting Thursday night and going all the way through the end of the weekend. So it's time to buckle up and grab some popcorn, grab a snack, grab a drink, grab whatever you can, and get ready for another full slate of football games from high school to college to pros. So let's go.
Man, I love doing the show with you guys. I'm so fortunate, so blessed to have a great crew with you and Ezra and Randy and Kevin. We always have a great time coming on here talking about the world of sports. And looking forward to doing that again next week. And again, folks, follow us on Twitter at @ON_sports show, Facebook.com/Nation Sports Show. And also like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel, YouTube.com/Our Nation Sports Show. Also follow the Nation's Corner on Twitter at Nation's Corner. Everywhere else on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. It is at the Nation's Corner. And guys, that right there, it's going to be game, set, and match, my friends. I've had a great time with you guys on the show tonight. And with that being said, we're signing off this bad boy. And for Randy Giron, for Kevin Roy, for Joey, JT Thornton, I am your host for this evening, Stephen Wyand, and Ezra will be back with us next week. And looking forward to recapping another wild, insane week of the National Football League next Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 Central, 4 p.m. Pacific. But until then, it's never goodbye. Just like Brent Smith from Shinedown would say at the end of each Shinedown show, it's never goodbye. It's just until next time. Take care. Brush your hair. Throw some napkins in the air. For Kevin Rory, for Randy Giron, for JT, Joey Thornton, I'm Stephen Wyand. We're signing off. And this has been another great action-packed edition of our Nation Sports Show. Take care, everybody. Have a great rest of the week and also a great weekend watching some great football action. Peace.
Yeah.